It is now 11 a.m. and it is my privilege and honor to call the Thursday, April 2nd, 2026 Physical Resources Committee to order. I trust you've had an opportunity to read the minutes of March 5th, 2026. If so, I'd entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved. Support.
Motion by Commissioner Blanco, supported by Commissioner Tillotson. Any amendments or corrections? Any amendments or corrections? Hearing none, seeing none, I entertain a motion, or all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. We've approved the minutes of March 5th. Finance reports.
You will find your finance reports in your packet, starting with the Building and Site Division of the Capital Fund. You see that we have various projects currently open with some expenses hitting on the jail control room. You have balance available for future projects of just over $1,561,000. Your next report, you will find the Marie Spear Campus Division of the Capital Fund, and you will see that we have, again, a couple projects open, with the top one being the Juvenile Justice Infrastructure Project, which is a part match to the $1.3 million from Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, excuse me. And a balance available there for future projects is just over $382,000. I will attempt to answer any questions. You should have them.
Any questions of the finance report? Hearing none, thank you so much, Shannon. On to building and grounds. Rob?
Good morning. I'm just gonna hit a couple of highlights here because we have a lot on the agenda today. At the jail facility, we had some hot water shutoffs repaired by Eder Mechanical Services that were non-functioning. At the sheriff's office, the annual boiler inspection was completed. At the old courthouse, a new security desk was installed, and security guards also now have an iPad where they can view the cameras for some extra security. Complex, we have had all the backflow preventers tested as required by the city of Adrian. And we have completed our spring filter changes and preventive maintenance on all of our HVAC units. So we're ready to go for the warmer weather if it ever gets here and stays. At the Human Services Building, I have on here that health department renovations were completed, but then Monica informed me that they're having I believe a reception window installed. So that's technically not completed yet. They have one more piece to that puzzle. Meeting room renovations have been completed, and we'll be closing that project out here in this meeting. Marie Spear Campus, the old DTM renovations continue to be on schedule. And also early next week, we're going to have the MSC old detention windows installed, which were approved at last month's PR meeting. And that's it.
Questions of Superintendent Rob? Mr. Van Dorn.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Rob, we want to thank you. We got a letter from some people. We've got a lot of comments about the meeting rooms out at the Human Services Building and how nice they are and the new audio visual equipment that's out there. So thank you. A lot of compliments.
Yeah, thanks for your team's work this winter. I know it was a kind of brutal winter and spring, so thanks for your work on this. I also want to make an announcement. We're supposed to make it at all of our various subcommittee meetings, as I call them, that each division, each agency should give some sort of report if they're present, not just say it's in the packet and blah, blah, blah. So we have a lot of viewers at home that have complained about that, and not that it's been affecting this committee with our wonderful reports that we get each time, but I just, my boss, the chairman, wanted me to make that announcement. All right. Any more questions of Rob? Hearing none, we have quite a bit of requests to do, so we will pass that along to very talented Deputy Administrator Shannon Elliott.
Thank you, Chairman. And you are correct. We have quite a few requests coming before you. These are all capital requests or related to your capital fund and budget. So the first request before you is, as Superintendent Van Owensy said, to close project HSB 2502, which is the renovation of the HSB meeting rooms. And again, we have heard repeatedly from departments within the Human Services Building, as well as other people who utilize those meeting rooms, that this renovation has just been a godsend to be able to work and utilize trainings and meetings and things of that nature in these in the rooms. So it has been a huge success. But the request before you is to close that project of the Human Service Building meeting rooms.
So move.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Tillotson, supported by Commissioner Blanco. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Both same sign, motion carries. That request is closed. Next request, C.
All right, moving on to the repair of the jail padded cell, excuse me. This again is part of your 2026 capital plan. $60,000 was budgeted for these repairs. There are only a few companies that are able to facilitate this kind of work, so you have only one bid before you. But it is to accept the Marathon Engineering proposal of $54,444 with repairs and a contingency of $5,000 for a total project cost of $59,444.
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Blanco, supported by Commissioner Tillotson. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Both same sign, motion carries. Next request, item D, physical resources carpet replacement.
And again, this is part of your 2026 capital plan. This is for the $37,000 budgeted for carpet replacement in the Physical Resources Building. And the request before you is to accept the O'Connor and Sons proposal of $26,085.67 with a contingency of $2,500 for a total of $28,585.67.
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Blanco, supported by Commissioner Tillotson. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Both same sign, motion carries. All right, on to item E, physical resources roof replacement.
As part of your 2026 capital improvement plan, $111,000 was budgeted for the PR building roof replacement. The request is for you to accept a Morse roofing bid of $115,130 for the PR Physical Resources Building roof replacement and a $5,000 contingency. And if Superintendent Ranowenzi, do you want to touch on this, the fact that this is not the lowest bid, but you would prefer to go with this company?
Certainly. We have two bids. One is from Superior Roofing and one is from Moore's Roofing. They are both Duralast installers. And we're kind of in the middle of a part of the state where we can, get two territorial people to bid on our jobs. In the past, we've used Superior Roofing, most recently at the Marie Spear Campus Administration Building. And we have had several issues with that roof leaking. I can't 100% say, but I think that part of the issue that we had when we had all the water damage because of the roof drain that backed up, I think that part of that was due to the way that the pans were installed in the roof. That's just my opinion, but we, as recently as today, we have a leak in the administration building in the hallway that we had to call Superior Roofing again to come take a look at. So my recommendation is to go with Moore's Roofing. Moore's Roofing did the jail roof last year. They did the old detention roof. We haven't had any issues at all with their work. And we even had them come to the Human Services Building a couple of years ago to fix a leak that we had there that we had also had Superior out several times to look at, and they couldn't seem to fix. So I would just, I know that it's more than the other bid, but I feel like that the work is superior, and I don't want to is superior. That's interesting phrase, but yes. So
Any questions of Superintendent Rob regarding this? When was the roof replaced the last time?
at our building,
Yeah.
20 years ago,
What's the general lifespan for those?
20 years. We get a 20-year warranty with Duralast.
So move.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Tillotson, supported by Commissioner Blanco. All I would say was, good thing we didn't put any things on top of that roof, but I'll try to keep current. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. On to item F, MSC gym roof replacement.
And lastly, for this month, as part of your capital plan for building and grounds, The MSC gym roof replacement was included in the 2026 budget at 45,000. The request before you is to accept the Moore's roofing proposal of 27,960 with a $2,800 contingency for a total request of $30,760.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Blanco,
Support.
supported by Commissioner Tillotson. Any discussion? Mr. Tillotson.
I just make a comment that, it looks to me like we're getting into a pattern of so much contingency on each project, which I think is excellent idea. Like, we worked into it gradually, but it's, you know, if we got $1,800 left over, so be it, whatever, but I like that.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Tillotson. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign. All right. Thank you, Superintendent Rob. Great report. On to Drain Commission report. Commissioner Ed.
Good morning, and thank you. Not a whole lot on the Drain Commission, monthly update here, but our drain maintenance field crews, they are working on some open ditch maintenance. We have two projects currently going on, one in Palmyra Township and one in Raga Township. Our general maintenance requests are starting to pick up. We've got farmers in the fields. We're starting to get a little bit of rain. People are noticing problems and maintenance issues, so we are starting to get busy there. And then one other thing, the Burns Tile Drain petition, that's in Franklin Township. Excuse me, I talked with our design engineer on that, and our conceptual plan and estimated costs should be coming in soon, and then we can provide that to the folks that are in that district. As far as our sewer and water field crew operations, one of our big projects right now is down here on Howell Highway. We're replacing a sewer lift station. That's an Adrian Township sewer. That's moving along nicely. I would say that we're halfway done with that. And then I also would like to report that we did receive a grant from the state at our Roland Woodstock Sanitary District to study PFAS, which is a microplastics that is getting into our water supply, and it actually can get into us in our bloodstream. And that grant is to study where the possible sources of this are. At this time, we don't know where the sources in that particular system of the PFAS is occurring. One other thing, not on the list, but last Saturday, we had a pressure sewer line get hit up by Sand Lake on the Wampler's Lake system by a fiber optic installer. They had failed to call in a mistig, and they hit our line. So we were out there for 13 hours trying to get that under control. And that repair is complete. We will be in communication with them to pay for all those costs. And then lastly, on regards to equipment and vehicles, I'm planning to bring a new excavator purchase proposal to this committee next month. I just wanted to give everyone a heads up. If there's any questions I can answer, I'd be happy to.
Any question of Commissioner Van Dorn?
So how do we file with that company? Do we have to, we contact them, or does our legal have to contact? What do we have to do with?
Yes, so I'm gonna guess that we'll have legal counsel contact them once we have all actual costs. We have already talked to them and have informed them to expect that to occur.
But so you have contacted them initially?
Yes.
Further questions. What company is doing that? Is a bunch of different subcontractors? It's
I do not have the actual subcontractor's name with me right now.
because
There are numerous.
is it Frontier that's doing that?
No, I couldn't tell you right now.
They're all over up there in Mass. I know it personally, actually. Any further questions of Commissioner Ed? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Moving along, updates and other business. We have a couple more requests here. Request A, purchase 3 patrol vehicles.
Yes, this request, again, is part of your capital plan as approved for 2026, were 3 Dodge Durangos for the Sheriff's Division. Again, this is for the road patrol fleet. So the request before you is to purchase 3 2026 Dodge Durangos from LaFontaine CJDR of Lansing for $132,945.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Blanco,
Support it.
support for Commissioner Tillotson. Commissioner Tillotson.
Does that include the setup? Would it cost $9, $10, $12, $18,000 to get it painted and
The up,
all the bells and whistles on it? That will be above this figure.
if it is above this figure, actually 222,000 was actually budgeted for these 3 vehicles. So we're coming in significantly lower than what was budgeted for the 3 vehicles. But I do believe that this number, the 132,945, and does include an outfit.
It's amazing the amount of money it takes to equip the vehicle.
Absolutely.
Mr. Collins remarked about it last month and, he used to do it for $1,200, $1,500, and now it's 30,000. Maybe more.
Sheriff, what's the actual cost on a Durango? Is it about the same for whether it's a Charger or a Durango or?
It is actually, the Durango might be a little bit more than the Charger, but it's a little bit less than the Tahoe. And that's one of the reasons we went with the Durangos, is there's been an issue with the Tahoes, and obviously they're more expensive and they're more expensive to upfit. I've seen this so has many of you have seen this over the years, where back in the day, when I first started doing this, you just took the stuff out of the Crown Vic and put it in the new Crown Vic. And, they don't do that anymore for, whatever reason. So it has to be every year something seems to change. So now we have to buy new stuff. We can't just use the old stuff. And some of that is good, and some of it is, it's a little bit of waste in my mind. But, and then again, I can't help but be reminded by my captain and my lieutenant that these are rolling offices, and every year they put more technology in them and more technology, and pretty soon you're paying for all of that technology that's in those vehicles. And so, I don't see it going backwards. I don't see it ever going back down. As we look at the future, and the future is more technology, and so I can see that continuing, that trend.
Thank you, Sheriff. Any additional questions? Commissioner Collins?
Part of the problem you face in the upfits is, correct me if I'm wrong, sir, but there aren't that many companies doing it anymore. It used to be there were many across the state. Many years back, I was involved in police vehicle equipment, and cost what, $2,000 to retrofit now? Back when I was doing it, we charged $375 for a retrofit. That's how far it's come, but that was back in '02. But my point is, there just isn't the competition anymore that there used to be.
And that is true. We are fortunate, and I'll throw a shout out. We are fortunate in the fact that our upfitters, the one who does the lights and siren and all of the electronics, is also the same that does the decaling and fix, and everything on the outside. Because what ends up happening when you use different vendors is you get that they point at each other, and so having a one-stop shop, more or less, has done very well for us. We also have over time learned to figure out ways that we can at least try to save the county some money. One good example of that is, if you look at our vehicle now, it's different looking than it was before, where you had that whole graphic down the side. we made a a calculated decision to remove that because what we found was when we had something happen, like a deer run into the fender, you had to replace that whole graphic and that costs a lot more money. So to try to save money and to keep the patrol cars looking good, we came up with a way to put the graphics on there that did not include that long stripe to try to match it up because you could never match them up. You had to just restripe everything. So it's a cost savings to do that, and hopefully it has paid off over the years from changing. So it was when no one ever called me to say, "Hey, Sheriff, I don't like the fact that you took that graphic off there." I would have explained to them that, we did it not because, we did it calculated because we want to try to save money when we can.
Thank you. Commissioner Tillotson.
None of these three cars are signature cars.
I'm sorry?
None of these three cars are signature cars. No name on them.
Oh, like my signature?
Your signature or anybody else's.
Oh, absolutely not. I haven't signed a single car. I don't do that. That's just not
Okay,
something that I'm.
just want to clarify. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Tillotson. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Hi.
Those same sign, motion carries. All right, on to request B, purchase administrative vehicle for the jail captain.
Included in your 2026 capital plan was the purchase of an administrative vehicle for the jail captain. Originally, it was budgeted for about $50,000 for a Jeep Grand Cherokee. However, the Sheriff's Department was able to find a Dodge Durango, a 2026 Dodge Durango, in the amount of $35,567. That would meet the jail commander's needs. So the request before you is to purchase a 2026 Dodge Durango from LaFontaine CJ, DR of Lansing in the amount of $35,567.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Tillotson, supported by Commissioner Blanco. Any discussion? Commissioner Tillotson?
We're still gonna have to detail it, there's still, it will probably be detailed the same way, maybe not quite as much money because it's kind of a personal car within reason.
Sheriff?
So this one will have really no detailing on it. This one will have so one of the nice things that we've done over the years as well as a money saving, a cost saving is in the past, every patrol and administrative vehicle had a 800 radio in it or a VHF at the time and then an 800 radio in it. One of the things that from my time at my prior agency, what we found was these new 800 radios that we purchased have the ability to just put them into a $150 dock that charges them, and they have the ability to do everything that a mobile radio does. So it made no sense to equip the administrative vehicles with a mobile radio when we all have portable radios. So the only thing really that's going to be in this is a $150 cigarette lighter or other charging to be able to keep that radio charged. There will be no lights in this one. I know the undersheriff's vehicle, when we get to that one, it'll have some lights in it because there are many times that my undersheriff has to do work on his way in and to work and back home where he comes across a crash, maybe a domestic assault, things like that. And he needs the ability, just like I do when I come across crashes on my way into work. But car deers happen everywhere, and I've taken my share of car deers reports on my way into work. So, but that's a minimal. It's not the same amount as the others either. So again, trying to save money where we can.
Hey, Sheriff, any additional questions? Hearing none, seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those same sign, motion carries. On to our final request, C, Jail Control Center.
So in 2025, you approved a capital improvement project to renovate the jail control room. During that renovation, Captain Casey, the jail commander, was able to negotiate some larger desks, some larger workspace, with the not exceeding the original budgeted amount for that project. In doing so, he was able to essentially acquire more screens and more computers, more information, if you will, that allows the jail to see and to communicate with the inmates on a more, on a safer level. That project exceeded the 55,000 under the CIP. So Captain Casey actually went out to MMRMA, our liability insurance carrier, and sought a RAP grant. And the RAP grants are essentially a risk mitigation grant. He was able to secure the RAP grant in the amount of 24,414, which is the amount of the secondary project. And so the request before you is to recommend authorization to spend the $24,414 to finish this project with Securitas to the Ways and Means Committee.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Blanco, supported by Commissioner Tillotson. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Those same sign, motion carries. Now on to MSC renovations, MD.
You will see in your packet the various pictures that are ongoing of the renovation of the existing detention or old detention. I guess they now have two existing detentions. There have been a few recent setbacks with some of the locks on the sleeping room doors. So that may tie us up a little bit longer than the original April 17th date. However, Granger is working diligently on trying to obtain those locks so that there is no delay. But hang tight. I will keep you informed as we continue through this project.
Thank you so much for the update. You've done a wonderful job during this meeting. Should be a news anchor in the next career. Great discussion. All right, now on to public comment. Is there any public comment? Is there any public comment? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Tillotson, supported by Commissioner Blanco. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those same sign.